Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day I bid to our lecturer Dr. Farah Safura. My name is Tengku Nur Hidayah binti Raja Saleh, and in this video my friends and I will present our assignment about scamming and phishing in Islamic perspective. So I will start with the introduction of scamming and phishing in Islamic perspective. At the end of 2019, the world was shocked by the news of the spread of COVID-19, which also caused scamming to increase. The COVID-19 pandemic imposed quarantines in countries all over the world, so people carry out various activities through the internet, such as trading through the internet, sharing their knowledge, and learning online, making electronic banking and payment transfers, trading cryptocurrencies, and carrying out various other. This transition gives opportunity for all the internet attackers to exploit inherent vulnerabilities in application design and network security vulnerabilities to obtain sensitive and critical data of the victims without an authority's access.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Awatif Najiha binti Abdul Malik from IC1104DA, and today I want to present about problem statement and method in this study. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about problem statement. Even though the country has made progress, but the number of scamming and phishing has been on the rise. Since the internet network is more stable and rapidly it used to people, many have now allowed users to open information online accounts, their personal to several other cyber social network, and it can make personal data exposed to the public to an extent more critical. According to Berita Harian article in 2021, the development of advanced technology, including social media, is seen to lead to the trend of increasing online fraud cases by 60% in the last 10 years. The statistic from the number of cases recorded for online purchase fraud is increasing from year to year. Because of the case is on the rise, so member of the community need to be more vigilant and careful so as not to become the next victim. So that I want to share some tips to avoid ourselves becoming a victim of online fraud. First, if you get called from a phone number from an unknown country, please do not answer unless the number is our regular contact list. We also need to be careful in sharing personal information with others. For example, do not give information such as bank account number, online banking password, CW codes on bank card, or even TSC numbers to unknown parties.
Assalamualaikum. I introduce myself as Nur Atira binti Muhammad Sadinata. I from class IC11104DA. My measure number is 2020811248. Okay. I will present about meaning in the literature review. Scamming is the fraudulent or misleading act or operation. Phishing is the technique of fooling internet user. Phishing is the practice of sending an email or showing a web announcement for fraudulently pretend to be from a real company in order to fool the user into providing personal information. Scamming and phishing are clearly defined as a fraud that occurs on the website or any contemporary technology to deceive user and gain revenue online.
There are various types of scamming and phishing, and here I will discuss three of them, which is firstly, email phishing. Email is an advantageous vector for phishers because emails can easily be distributed to a large quantity of recipients. Furthermore, it allows the geographical location of the sender to remain unknown. Based on the example there, the crook will register a fake domain that mimics a genuine organization, and the fake domain often involves character substitution, like using R and N next to each other to create RN instead of M. Okay, second, is spear phishing. It is more advanced than email phishing because criminals already know the part of the victim's information, such as their name, place, job title, email address, and price information about their job position. Okay, the third is whaling. The technique is much more subtle. Whaling emails are also frequently sent under the guise of a busy CEO asking an employee to do them a favor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi, my name is Raifana and I'm from IC1104DB, and I will be presenting about the evidence from Al-Quran and the graph based on the survey that we have done before. Have you ever heard about the evidence from Al-Quran regarding this matter? So, if you want to know, let's hear about it. Islam forbids internet fraud and illegal earns from others to build the riches, and this also involves scamming and phishing. There are evidence in Al-Quran that has stated about the fraud, which in Surah An-Nisa verses 29 and Surah Al-Baqarah verses 188. In Surah An-Nisa verses 29, that has stated about do not eat property among yourself in vanities, and for the Surah Al-Baqarah verses 188 in the Surah, they has stated that do not consume others people's wealthy. Thus, this scamming and phishing can be related to these two evidence from Al-Quran based on the fraud and consume others people's wealth without their permissions.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Maisara Binti Nazri, and today I want to present about challenge. The issues of scamming and phishing become a worrying cases as these cases are increased every year. Actually, the authorities such as police are working to address this issue, but the existing legal provisions are less effective in tackling the crime of online fraud. The police cannot do any punishment if it is not in provision of the law. The challenge facing society is all ages are at the risk of becoming the victim of phishing and scamming. That means teenagers, adults, and many more are risk become a victim of scammer. In addition, the lack of awareness and info related to the scam and phishing also is a challenge in addressing this issue. It's better to us to not click any uncertainty links. Go to the police station, or you can check the phone number at the official portal of Scammer Checker to make sure that the information that you did receive from the phone call is true.
The method that used by our group to obtain data for this study is focused more on group discussion and conducting questionnaires. We conduct a survey by distribute questions using Google Form to gather information on the study that is being done. A total of 41 students from Diploma Muamalat in Part 4 have responded to this study. That's all from me. Thank you.
According to this bar chart, shows that 11 out of 41 respondents did not experience fraud through the social media, and these results are similar to the survey that reported by Ipsos, which is that most cases were not reported through the social media but via email. From this bar chart, it shows that 21 out of 41 students know what they have to do when they face scammer, while another 50 respondents they are not sure what they can do when they face scammer. And from this bar chart also shows that 4 other students really knew what they have to do when they face scammer, while only one of the students did not know. And for this bar chart, it shows most of the students are aware of the risk, scamming and phishing, but still have a few of the students are less aware of the effect, scamming and phishing, which is 4 out of 41 respondents. The last is 3 out of 41 respondent really know how to handle phishing attack, as well as to 27 other respondent, they are also know how to avoid it, while the rest of the students who answer this survey are not sure how to avoid the phishing attack.
Next, I will be talking about 3 questions that have been asked in the survey. The 2 questions are about the knowledge on scamming and phishing. The students that have answered the questions state that they know about this matter. The 3rd question are about the Macau scam. Macau scam is one of the scamming. They trick the victims to give the scammers lots of money. They trick the victims to give them a lot of money by acting to be another person, like bank officer, the government officer, and so on. Because of that, many people are already being scamming and phishing victims. Thus, we need to know about this matter to avoid this happening to us. That's all from me. Thank you and bye.
So, for the conclusion is, scamming and phishing have become a hot topic as the most ubiquitous and hazardous problem that cross religious, social, political, and economic line with many forms of internet failure. According to an assessment conducted by us, revealed that we heard that around 53.7% of respondents aware about the risk of scamming and phishing in their own life. It is obvious that many people around us experience scamming and phishing, making them more aware about this crime. As a result of the idea outlined above, the beautiful Al-Quran as the first source of Islamic law does not leave any concern unanswered, whether legal, social, or political matter beyond its border.